Hi y'all, good morning. It is a few minutes before sunrise and we're getting ready to go after some catfish today, and we're going to try to catch them in about the most fun way you possibly can, on a paddleboard. I am on my Hobie Lynx kayak, which is essentially a glorified paddleboard. It's a paddleboard hull with pedals and a seat, and this thing has absolutely no traction. It can spin on a dime, the wind blows you around every which way, and we hook into a big fish. It's going to take us on a sleigh ride. It is going to pull us all over creation. So that's what we're going to try to do today. We're going to try to get us a kayak sleigh ride, if you will. So we're just going to take a section of main channel ledge here. I've got one fishing rod with me. That's all we're using today. One rod, because if we tried using two rods, we're going to be tangled up, all kinds of nonsense when a fish takes off with us. So we're going to fish one bait, work up a ledge here, and I've got a new graph. I've put a graph on this thing. I bought this recently on sale. It's a Lowrance Hook Reveal 5, and I got it so that we could have access to our speed. We need to be able to monitor that when we are trolling, but also for the map card. And it comes standard with a map card, but you can see it's, well, I hope you can see, there may be a glare, but it's pretty much terrible. The map card there, it's not any good. I'm gonna have to upgrade that to a better one that'll actually show us some contour lines, but we're gonna try to just wing it out here today and work as close to the edge of a ledge as we possibly can and just cover some water. Keep our speed about half mile an hour or so and pull a bait behind us and see what we can run into. So I've got one skipjack and I've got some bluegill, and so we'll offer them as best a variety as we can today, just alternating baits, and hopefully we hook into something big, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a good time, y'all, so come with me. Let's have some fun. I'm gonna take our one skipjack. These things have remained very difficult to catch lately, but I'm gonna take a body section first, see if we can get us some action here. We at some point today will put on that big head, but I'm gonna take a chunk of it first and put on our dragon rig, which I'll show you here in a second, and we're gonna take off and get after it. So here's the setup. We got our bait on a 10-aught size circle hook, got 80-pound leader line. A few inches above the hook, we've got just a simple float and some rattles in there. Up from that, we've got our inline dragging sinker. 40-pound main line. I've got my signature series Golly Whopper rod from Catfish Sumo, and then the Shimano Dakota reels. And so I'm gonna start letting out some line as we pedal here and get ourselves up to speed. And then I'm gonna slow us down and just work about a half a mile an hour. I'm gonna keep an eye on the graph so that I can maintain my speed as I pedal. And we'll pull this bait behind us up this ledge, and we come across a catfish. Hopefully it's gonna be hungry. Oh, there it is. Oh, all right, y'all. Here we go. Fish number one. He's already got us spun and headed back. That's the thing about this kayak, man. Because if it's like paddleboard hull, you just instantly spin and go. And so if you're fishing multiple lines, like if we were trying to drag two lines up through here, we'd have that other line wrapped around us right now. But just doing one, you just turn around and go. I think it's gonna be a decent fish right here too. Let's get the camera here in the chest and see if we can get some thrashing and splashing when he gets up here. I think it's gonna be an okay fish for fish number one. He feels pretty solid. I didn't have great expectations coming out today, just time of year. We're right in the spawn right now, but sometimes having low expectations can be a good thing. Look at all them bubbles coming up there. If you set the bar low for yourself, it don't take much to exceed it. And this one out here ain't gonna be as big as I thought, but he's a fun sizer. I'm satisfied with that. That's a nice start right there. Okay, come here, kitty. You calm it down and come here. These people want to see you. Get up here on this thing. Nice, y'all. Well, there he is. Fish number one. Just a long, skinny fish, but a dang good time. He fought like a Dickens. Had us turned every which way, pulling us back downriver. That's what I'm hoping to get into today, y'all. Just some hard pulling fish and have us a good time out here. And we're gonna have a good time. He's gone. We're gonna have a good time regardless, because anytime I'm on the water catching fish, I'm enjoying myself. So let's get baited up. I'm gonna put another piece of that skipjack on, and we'll just keep making our way up this ledge. Let's rig us another bait right there. You can see I've got just another body section of the skipjack. I'm gonna toss it out here behind us, and we're gonna take off. I don't know if I mentioned the depth earlier, but it's gonna vary greatly through here. 35 feet right now. As we make our way up, it will get progressively deeper and then progressively shallower after that, depending on how far we go. Now, if we get on some fish, I'll circle back through and we'll just keep hitting them. But I'm kind of just expecting to get some sporadic fish up this ledge today. And so we're just gonna cover water. That's what we're gonna do. Just try to get out here and go as far as we can today before it gets too miserably hot. Yeah, we're in that time of year. It's a steam bath by lunchtime, so we're going to be off the water by lunch. But in the meantime, we're going to try to just catch us some fish that are willing to bite. And I'm letting out some line here. It's not an exact science, but I want this thing at least 30, 50 yards behind us. That's probably good enough. And I'm going to set it there in the rod holder. So that bait, you know, we say we're dragging right now. We're dragging a bait. Well, our bait's not really dragging, folks. Our sinker is dragging. The bait is elevated just off the bottom with that float. So as it's moving along, the sinker is kind of stirring up the bottom a little bit. I'd say it's like a carp feeding. If you've ever watched carp feeding in shallow water, they got their nose down in the mud and there'll be a little dust plume around them, right? Well, as your sinker drags along, it's stirring up the bottom a little bit. You're creating like a little dust cloud. And I think it represents a carp that's feeding, or sucker, something down there on bottom that's feeding. And so the catfish, I believe, are kind of drawn to that, gets their attention, and then boom, there's a piece of cut bait behind it. Easy meal for them. So anyway, that's what we're trying to represent as we drag along here. But again, we're just taking a section of this ledge. I'm kind of following the buoys over here. Since this graph, and I'll bring it up here again on the chart, you can see what the chart looks like. It looks awful. There's hardly any contours. I mean, this is a main channel ledge. There should be, you know, big time contours right in here, and there ain't diddly poo. So I got to get a different map card for this thing. But in the meantime, I'm just going to have the regular graph on here just so I can monitor our speed, try to keep it about a half a mile an hour. But I'm kind of keep my eye on the buoys over here, and definitely keep it between the buoys. But I work us over here to the left, and when I start coming up, when the depth starts really going up shallower, then I know to come back a little to the right. And that's how I'm kind of keeping us where we need to be without being exact about it. It's kind of a horseshoes and hand grenades kind of day out here. Going after it. Yep, he's got it. He's got it. I switched over to the other side of the channel here, and I switched out our bait. Been running some bluegill here. Thought I'd mix it up, see how that does. The skipjack, we got that one pretty quickly after we started the trip, but not much going since then. This fish here ain't gonna be nothing to write home about, but nevertheless, it's another bite, and I'm happy to get it. Hard times out here thus far this morning. Boy, look at it. He's slimed up. He slimed up our whole line. You danged old fish. I don't know how you got slime all the way up through there. Got himself hooked in the mouth twice. Dinkity doodah, folks. Not what we after for sure, but another bite. So I'm gonna put another piece of bluegill on. I took a body section of bluegill when I switched it out. We're gonna take a bluegill head this time, see how that'll do. Well, there's our bluegill head. Let's send it out, see what that'll do. The body sections Got us 2 bites now between the skipjack and the bluegill, but we'll try a head bait and just see how they respond to it. Oh, another one, another one. Here we go. Right off this point here behind me. I'm going upriver, even though there's not any current right now. But there's a point right here, and oftentimes if you have current, it pushes up on there. And there's some fish that hang out on it oftentimes. So we got us one here hanging off of it. He's got us towing us. He's towing us right toward him if I can get my words out. I'm excited, y'all. This is fun. There's another larger dink right here. He's another skinny fish though, man. These fish, you tell, it's that time of year. Most of our better quality fish have went through the spawning process, and the males are still on the nest guarding the fry. Some of these other ones here are just all skinny and need them a bologna sandwich is what they need. Actually, you know, he's got a little bit more weight on it there than what I initially thought, but still need to fill out there fish. I've hurt his feelings. You see how far how fast he got out here? I can't talk for nothing today, y'all. All right, well, the bluegill head got eat. I've got more bluegill, so let's try that again. We'll put another bluegill head on and just kind of make our way up. I'm gonna keep going upriver, but there is a point right here that comes off, so I may go back down a little bit and drag off of this point as we make our way up. This bluegill right here is probably in that, I don't know, 6.5, 7-inch range. So reasonable sized bait. We'll take the head of it, put on the hook just like that, and then we're gonna drag it along bottom. Oh, here we go again. Right here off this point still. I was barely moving then. There's a wakeboard boat over here. He's idling along. I can't figure out what he's doing. I was just kind of sitting there when that one hit. Maybe we need to slow it down a notch. This fish ain't slowing me down though. He's got us pulling back toward him, between us pulling him and him pulling us. We on the move right now. 1.5 miles an hour. That's fun, y'all. We hook into a monster, buddy. We're gonna be moving a few miles an hour. This one here, I mean, you can see tiny fish, but the resistance of us pulling against him and him pulling against us, and the fact that this kayak just glides across the water, there's no resistance with it. Like, you can be on the move fast in no time. So we hook into a big fish, y'all. It's gonna be a fun time. Well, another dinkity doodah. Another bite though. Glad to have him. We'll put another piece of bluegill on, and boy, that sun's right behind me right there. We'll put another piece of bluegill on, and I'm gonna run up here on this point again and just see if we can get another one on here. That's you know, this type of area, anytime you've got a nice point that runs out like this, especially if you got current pushing up on it, that's real good. Now here this morning there's no flow, but still, any point like this, fish could be staged up off of it, or you could get them kind of working up and down the ledge on the sides of it there. But we'll get back on it and get back on the move here. I've been tinkering with the graph a little bit. You know, this is a new setup for me on here. When I got this Hobie Lynx, I was hoping to keep everything minimal, very simple, but didn't want graphs, didn't want batteries, wires, all that. But doing this style of fishing, you got to monitor your speed, and having the map card, which we don't really have today because the Lowrance built-in unit sucks, but it's nice to have in this situation. So right now I've got it mounted on my seat, and I got my wires, I've got my transducer wire going under the seat because there's a transducer cavity there, if you will, like a transducer scupper area there, so it mounts kind of up inside the kayak so the transducer is protected and the wire runs out there. So I've got it all coiled up here and attached to the seat, and I got my battery in this little pouch here. Let me show you the battery I got for this thing. This is a Naqua Adventure Gear. It's a 10 amp hour lithium battery. It only weighs like a pound, so it don't add a lot of weight to this thing, and I keep it here in that pouch. So all my wiring, as long as the graph is on my seat, the wiring is all confined here and it's not running every which way. This kayak is kind of difficult to rig in that there's no internal storage. It's just a, it's a paddle board that you've just got the space that's on top of the deck. But I'd kind of like to have that graph in front of me. So what I'm thinking I might do is move this up here to my DIY camera pole, mount it like right in here. I could probably run a ram ball around that, either zip tie, or they probably make a ram ball that's for like rails and stuff. Put it there. I could have the battery up here with it, because the battery don't take up any space and whatnot. And then I just have the transducer wire, which I could run over here under my paddle, maybe duct tape it to the deck and run it back around the rod holder and whatnot. So I'd only have really one wire coming back here, and it would keep it in front of me where it'd be easier to see and kind of out of the way. Because when I'm sitting here, I gotta, turn my head, look down on it. But I like to exit the kayak on this side. And so when I'm getting out, my leg right here, just boom, it's gonna hit that thing. And it's liable to break that piece off the seat. Now I could move this over here, but I got my steering handle over here on this side of the seat, and I like steering with my left hand. So I'm particular. We all got our preferences in life, folks. I like steering with my left hand. So I may end up just moving this up front here before it's said and done. Between fish, I've been online looking at them map cards. I'm gonna get me one of them Navionics chips like I've got on my other kayak, on my other graph, and put in here. That way I'll have a better map card. I don't know why they even claim that they've got a map card built into this thing, because you've seen it there. Hell, it don't hardly show you nothing. It's garbage. So it's a false advertisement, what that is, from a Lowrance. But overall, the size of the unit, the picture, as far as like the 2D, I've got that on the down scan now. It looks good. So impressed with the graph overall, other than the map card. But we'll get it figured out, figure out where we want to put things. But right now, there's a splash right there. Right now, we need to get another bait on and get back to it, folks. We don't have a single bait in the water while I'm sitting here flapping my gums. I'm gonna go ahead and just put us another bluegill head on here for the time being. That's another one there that's probably in that kind of 7-inch range, which is a nice sized bluegill. That's a good bait size. I got some of them there yesterday, and they're good and fresh. That skipjack's a couple days old, which we still got the head and some of the body meat from it, but right now the bluegill seems to be getting us action a little bit more frequently than what the skipjack was. So even just when we're not getting bit, we're just getting like taps and stuff, or I should say we're getting bit but not getting like solid hookups. We're getting more taps on the bluegill today than what I was on the skipjack. So since we're just running one rod, I'm trying to give them what is getting the most action for us. When you got multiple rods, you can kind of experiment different cuts, different types of baits if you got them. But when you got to do one at a time here, which we could, I mean, we could run another rod on this kayak, but you've seen how quickly we get spun around. We would have that other line wrapped around us every which way. It would be a mess. So when I'm in this setup, doing catfishing trips out of this, I just want to run one rod, and and really I want to keep it simple anyway. When I'm out here in this thing, that's kind of the goal of this kayak. Keep it lightweight, keep it simple. I know I've added a graph on here and battery for it and all that. That kind of takes away a little bit, right? But still, I want to do just one catfish rod, one rig here, and just kind of show people that you don't have to have, I went over this the last time I was in this kayak, but the culture of catfishing today is so out of control. Everybody thinks you need these huge ass boats with enclosures, a million rod holders around it. But guys are out here running planer boards and covering the whole damn river, you know, with baits. And it's like, you don't have to do that. And it's got to be discouraging for new people getting into the sport who look at those rigs and those setups, these giant boats, man, they're priced out. Like, people that are brand new getting in, unless they're just loaded with money, they're priced out. But it don't have to be that way. You can come out in a kayak, one rod holder, one rod and reel combo, and still catch you some fish. So that's what I hope to show with these videos, while I'm out here having fun getting towed around by these catfish too. Oh, that's a better one. That's a better one. At least I think it is. Oh no. Oh, there he is. Okay, he was coming right at me. I thought he'd let it go. I was like, I'm not feeling anything here. Now we've caught up with him. He hit it hard. We'll see what we got when we get him up here close. It's hard to judge these fish on this platform. That's one thing I've noticed. Like, fish that I've thought are going to be really big don't always turn out to be the case. Let's see if we get this thing up here. He ain't going to be no monster, I'll tell you that, now that we've got over here on top of him. But he is at least a fun sizer. A little bit better quality. Quality has been tough to find today, but this time of year it often is. Yeah. Another ugly old thing right there. Look at him all beat up. Come here, you angry old blue cat. I don't know if he's worthy of it, but I'm gonna give him some front camera time nonetheless. The bar has been set low today, so he's gonna get him some time. Yeah, fish, you're lucky that the bar is set so low today. Normally, I mean, he's fun size length, but you can see just super skinny. Just hard times. This is another one of them fish that needs him a sandwich, folks. Y'all make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on his way out the door. Well, I'm still kind of right here in this area. I'm just slow. I've slowed my speed down a little bit, and that seems to help our calls, but it could just be that there's some fish right here kind of off this point. So either way, we're catching some fish. I got some more bluegill here in the cooler, so I'm gonna put another piece down. We might try a body section this time, see how that goes. But either way, well, I'm content sitting here catching fish. Well, let's put us a piece of bluegill on here for a little while. We'll run it, see if we get another. Whether we do or don't, I'm gonna switch that bait out in probably 15-20 minutes, as I'm maybe gonna fish another hour or so. And I definitely wanna put on that skipjack head. I want to swing for the fences before we get out of here today. So we'll run this a little while, see if we can get another bite, and then switch it out. Oh, another one. Another one right here in the same area, man. All right, y'all, here we go again. Get the camera back in the chest here. Get caught up with this fish again. I'm going to lose me a fish reaching for that camera. Or worse yet, lose the camera overboard while I'm trying to get it and stick it on my chest here. We'll get this one up here. We're gonna put that skipjack head on next. It's getting to that point in the day where it's getting hot. Yeah, that's another one there, comparable size to the last one. Just a skinny fun sizer, or larger dink, whatever your size preference, however you want to call it. I'll let you all call the shots on that kind of thing. It don't make a bit of difference to me. It seems, oh boy, it seems to matter more to the fish than it does. Boy, he's wound. Calm it down there, fish. You whooped now. You done whooped. You threw that bait off, but I was going to switch it out anyhow. Get up in here. Oh, easy. Well, hey, we got to calm it down about 3 notches once we in here. Indoor behavior, fish. You know what you've done cost yourself? You've done cost yourself front camera time. I was going to hold you up there, now I ain't. That's all you getting right there. Get out of here before he yaks out again. Ornery old fish, man. All right, let's put that skipjack head on there. Well, that right there, folks, that is my favorite bait in the world. Skipjack head. Unfortunately, we only got one today. Skipjack have remained very difficult to get this year. Been a tough year in my area for them. But we got that one, so let's make it count. I'm gonna fish another, maybe an hour, folks. It's turning into a steam bath out here. I don't know if you can see all the haze, but that's just because it's so dang humid. We're in that time of the year where you can come out at dawn and it's perfectly comfortable. It's perfect. But 10, 11 o'clock, definitely by noon, it's a damn sauna and it's just about unbearable. So I like to get my fishing done fast and then take it home to the air condition. That's how I roll this time of year. Oh, our skipjack head. Oh, something hit it right there. Something hit it. He didn't hook up. See if he'll come back for it. Starting to get a little excited there, folks. Working my way over to the other side of the channel. I'm going to try to work up that side of the ledge for a little while. We're kind of right here in the middle of the dang river right now. But it got hit. Well, folks, our one and only skipjack head has failed us. Thankfully, the other baits came through for us though. Got a few fish out here today. Not many, kind of had to grind a little bit, and the quality today certainly wasn't there, but this time of year, it gets tough to catch the big fish, a lot of them being on the nest and all, so it is what it is, but nevertheless, had a good time out here, but it's hot, and the air conditioner's calling my name, y'all. I'll see you next time. Thanks for coming with me.